Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, welcome back to channel Natasha Putri. In this video, I will explain about bridge configuration using two routers via VirtualBox. The purpose of the bridge to router is done so that the router server does not need to make an IP address on each interface to be bridged, and the client router will also get the same network as the server router if it is connected to the already bridged interface on the server router. The following is the topology used. Here, the router server will do the DHCP client using Etherwine via ESP. And the bridge configuration with network use 26.26.26.0/24, and in router server perform konfigurasi Htp Server and firewall NAT. For connected client can also get internet access. Ether 2 on the server router will be connected to the Ether 2 on the client. And Ether 3 on the server router and the client is also connected to the Ether 3 in the turn. On the client router, configure the bridge interface and the DHCP client using the bridge interface.
For the network used by Htp Server, use three adapters, namely adapter 1 is bridge adapter to perform the DHCP client using ESP. The purpose router server is connected to the internet, and adapter 2 is host-only adapter, no hashtag, is enabled to connect to the client router. And adapter 3, namely host-only adapter, hashtag 2 is enabled so that the router can connect to the Windows client. Network that promise choose mode section is allow all, and adapter type is Intel Pro/1000 MT desktop, and don't forget to checklist is cable connected. Perform in the all adapter setting.
For network used by Htp client that use two adapters. In here, I use adapter 2, namely host only, is enabled so that the client router is connected to the server router, and adapter 3 using host only adapter hashtag 2 is enabled so that the router can connect to the Windows client. And for network Windows client, use one adapter, namely host only hashtag 2, so that Windows can connect to the server and client, because the router will be remote via Windows in the Windows client. Next, start virtual machine Htp Server. Login with username admin. In here, I have configured identity, namely router server. Next, open the Windows client. Open the Winbox application. Click MAC address for remote router Htp. If you have successfully logged in the next step is to check the interface that will be used the command interface print. It can be seen that I use three interface, namely Ether 1, Ether 2, and Ether 3. Then we connect the router to the internet by configure the Htp client via the Ether 1 interface. Using the command IP the Htp client at interface Ether 1 disable no. Then we check it using the command IP the Htp client print. We can see that we have got the IP address which 192.168.40.158/24 and status is born using interface Ether 1. If you have done a ping test of your IP gateway, Google DNS and google.com. In here, check the IP gateway is obtained the router server with the command IP route print. It can be seen that the router server obtained gateway is 192.168.43.121. In here, perform ping with the command ping 192.168.43.121. It can be seen that the result is replied, means the router server is connected to the gateway from ESP. Next, perform ping to the Google DNS with the command ping egg.egg.egg.egg.egg. It can be seen that result is reply also, means the router server connected to the DNS Google. Let's perform ping to the google.com. It can be seen that the result is reply name, means that the router server used is connected to the ESP and also has internet access. Let's create a bridge interface. Here I give to name is bridge 1 with the command interface bridge at name bridge 1. Check it with the command interface bridge print. You can see that the bridge interface with the name bridge 1 has been created and the status is running. Then we add the interface port to the server interface on the Ether 2 and Ether 3 interface with the command interface bridge port add bridge 1 and interface is Ether 2. For Ether 3, and when we do the bridge on Ether 2 and Ether 3, the router will automatically reboot. In here, click reconnect. For checking result configuration interface bridge port with the command interface bridge port print. We can see that we have successfully added port to the Ether 2 and Ether 3 interface to be bridge 1. After that, we check that interface are available on the router with the command interface print. We can see that Ether 2 and Ether 3 have the RS flag, which means the running slave, and there is an interface that has name bridge 1, which is the bridge interface that we have created. Then we configure the IP address on the server interface with the command IP address at address. In here, I use address according to topology, namely 26.26.26.1/24, and interface use is bridge 1. Check it with the command IP address print. Here we can see that the IP address configuration we did have successfully. Next, configure the Htp server so that client can get IP dynamically from router server with the command IP Htp server setup. Navigate to the bridge interface, which is bridge 1. For the Htp address space is 26.26.26.0/24, and gateway from the Htp network is 26.26.26.1. Address to give out is rank IP to give for clients. Then S server is 192.168.43.121. Then S server is then S from ESP. This time I use 10 minutes. For check result configuration the Htp server with command IP the Htp server print. It can be seen that I have successfully created the Htp server with name the Htp 1 interface is bridge 1. Next, configure the NAT firewall so the client connected to the router can also be connected to the internet with the command IP firewall NAT at chain is source NAT and out interface is Ether 1 and action is my square. Check it with the command IP firewall NAT print. It can be seen that I have successfully configured IP firewall NAT. Next, make sure the client is obtain configure. Click properties. Click Internet Protocol version 4. Choose obtain an IP address automatically and use obtain then a server address automatically. Then is for client to both IP address obtained for the Htp server. In here, check in network connection details, make sure the client get IP address dynamically. In here, can be seen that IP address is 26.26.26.255 and subnet max is /24 and virtual gateway is 26.26.26.1 and DNS server is 172.168.40.121. Address, net max, gateway, and DNS obtained are is according with the DHCP server configuration previously. And here it can be seen that value from the HTTP enable is yes. Next, perform ping to gateway, Google DNS and google.com via GMD in the client. First, perform ping to the IP gateway. It can be seen that the result is reply, means the client connected to the router server. Next, ping to the DNS Google. It can be seen that the result is reply, means the router is connected to the DNS Google. Next, ping to the google.com. You can see the result is reply, which means the laptop is connected to the internet. Next, open VirtualBox and start to MikroTik client. Login with username is admin. In here, the MikroTik client use identity is router client. Next, open the Windows again. Perform remote to the MikroTik client or router client. Click connect. If you successfully login, check the current interface with the command interface print. It can be seen that the router client used two interface ports, namely Ether 2 and Ether 3. Next, create a bridge interface. Here, I give the name is bridge 2 by using command interface bridge add name bridge 2. To check the configuration result, enter the command interface bridge print. Can see that the bridge interface with the name bridge 2 has been created and the status is running. Then add the port to the bridge 2 interface for the port to the bridge, namely Ether 2 and Ether 3 with the command interface bridge port at bridge is bridge 2 and interface is Ether 2 and perform to Ether 3 also. When we do the bridge on Ether 2 and Ether 3, the router will automatically perform reboot. In here, click connect. Check to result configuration interface bridge port with the command interface bridge port print. It can be seen that the interface Ether 2 and Ether 3 use bridge is bridge 2. Then also check the interface with the command interface print. Here it can be seen that ather2 and ather3 is RS flags, which means running slave are already bridged. And you can also see the bridge to interface that was previously mounted. Next, configure the DHCP client via the bridge to interface so that the router client can connect to the router server and internet with the command IP DHCP client at interface bridge to disable no. Check the result of the configuration with the command IP DHCP client print. It can be seen that the bridge interface has obtained the IP address automatically from the Htp server on the router server, namely
26.26.26.253.
and status is bound. Next, perform ping the gateway and google.com via router client with the command ping 226.26.26.1. It can be seen that the result is reply, means that the router client successfully connected to the DHCP server from router server. Next, ping google.com. It can be seen that the result is reply, which means the router client is connected to the internet. Then the remote router server again. Then check which client are connected to the DHCP server by using command IP DHCP server list print. Here it can be seen that there are already two clients connected to the DHCP server for to router server with address is 26.26.26.254 and host name is Natasha in use to Windows client and use server is DHCP1 and for address 26.26.26.253 use hostname is router client and using server is DHCP1.
Enough of my explanation regarding bridge to router via VirtualBox. Less or more sorry. See you in the next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.